All right, let's see if we are live. Let's see if anyone dials in. This is take 2. Anyone there? Anyone there? Take 2. All right, let's see if this chat box window works as well. All right, looks like we're live. Happy days. G'day, everyone. You're here with Bo, turning on the light. Hey, we're alive. Just an impromptu live stream again tonight, guys. Same as last week. Just thought I'd do a short one, as I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do the next one. We're just going to have a look at a couple of things. We're going to check out some of the market. We're going to have a look at some news coming out of Bitquence. Have a look at No Limit Coin as well. And just have a bit of a chat. Just talk to you guys, because that's just what's fun. I just enjoy it. Finally made it live. Hey, Jamie. Yeah. Now, guys, I've got a chat window open here, but I'm not sure if it's actually working. Oh, it's saying I haven't added channels. Damn it. That is frustrating. That's cool. So what I'll do is I will try and minimize this window. I'll put this into a separate window, and then I'll just try and include the chat box itself. So just bear with me for a sec, guys. I do apologize for this. Try and get this sorted out, eh? Take your time. Thanks, guys. How's it all going? You doing all right? Keeping it real? 33 people, far out. That is crazy. All right, I've nearly got this sorted. Oh, it's ugly as hell, but it's gonna have to do. All right, so if I go to chat box and I change that to, oh look, I don't know, I can't sort it out, guys. I'm just gonna overlay it. I'll just overlay it like that, then everyone can see it. Sorry. All right, sweet as. So welcome everyone, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. Let's have a look at the market. So today we've had a bit of a correction, to be expected. We've had so much money come into the market recently. A correction really was probably overdue. I'm surprised it actually went as high as it did before it actually corrected. It doesn't seem to be driven off any particular news too, which makes it feel more organic, makes the actual correction feel more organic in terms of the market reacting in the ways that it does. Now, Bitcoin down a bit. Obviously, Bitcoin Cash been going up a lot. Very interesting on that. Crypto Daily's done a pretty good video on why that actually might be. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about Bitcoin Cash because there is a lot of politics behind it, and I don't like to voice my opinion on something unless I really understand it well, because I guess I kind of like to be in the position where I can have a civil debate with someone, and you need to know your stuff before you can actually do that. So yeah, so we've got Dash up a little bit. We've got Ethereum Classic getting smashed up. Don't exactly know why that is, but overall, guys, a pretty healthy correction. I wouldn't be too stressed overall. Corrections are healthy. It kind of equalizes the market, if that makes sense. I like to think about it as once you have a huge surge of money come in, there might be a small portion of that might be new investors. It could be people just in it to get 5 or 10% on their investment, then they're going to sell out. It essentially equalizes that and gets the bulk of the market back to its healthy state, and then it keeps progressing. That's kind of, in my mind, how I like to visualize it. So we'll check out something from Charlie Shrem here, which is quite interesting. Let me try and get this chat window back up. I'm just going to have to keep popping up and down, guys. I'm sorry. That's my fault. But Charlie Shrem's come out basically apologizing over the Segwit 2x fork. Now, I think this is really valiant of him to do this. I think it's humble of him to do this as well. So he's basically come out on Twitter saying that he'll be the first to admit he was wrong, When he was told about SegWit 2x, I thought there'd be a lot of consensus in everyone's best interest, but over time learned this wasn't the case in the long term. I hope you can all see my and most of our intentions were good. I love Bitcoin. So for those of you who don't know, and hopefully I get this right, but Charlie Shrem's been around for a long time now. He was in Bitcoin in the early days. There's a really good documentary on Netflix you can watch about Bitcoin where I think he was either the CEO or partners in a very early exchange. Now that exchange got tied up in some legal issues due to the Silk Road, which was basically the drug exchange that was being run off the dark web. Now, Charlie got into a bit of trouble, actually, I think, being associated with that. So he goes back sort of long time. He's been around in this game for a long, long time. So that's kind of his background now. So he's basically come out apologising. Some people are still sort of trying to stick it to him. But look, overall, I think it's really good, and I think it's really honourable of him to actually do that. You know, yeah. I really like to look at the human factor in people, and I like to try and work out where people's true integrity kind of lies, and I think that was really valiant of him to do that, regardless of, you know, of the whole SegWit 2x drama. So yeah, SegWit 2x, what's actually happening with it, who knows? I'm not even concerned, and I think a lot of people are sort of sick of devoting energy to it. I think a lot of people are sick of devoting energy to it, and a lot of developers have even come out as well saying, you know, we wasted so much time on this whole thing for it to be cancelled, how much money. You know, I see it as just part of Bitcoin's evolution. I see it as part of the scaling of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I just think it's kind of like it would happen whether you wanted it to or not, if that makes sense. It's just part of the process. It's part of the teething issues. Silk Road, maybe. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Douglas, they'd be a heck of a lot richer if they had waited before they sold it. So next article I want to check out, guys, just looking at this article come out about Germany's top financial regulator warns against initial coin offering risks. Not going to read through it in detail. Basically, it's the same as what you hear from a lot of countries. They're worried about ICOs, and they're worried about people investing into them, and those ICOs essentially just being used as a front for raising money. You know, I don't actually blame them for doing that, and you know, people have mixed feelings about regulations, but I do. Like, being a YouTuber, we get contacted by a lot of ICO companies wanting to cover it, okay? Like a lot, like sometimes 2 to 5 a day. And a lot of them are just awful. They really are, a lot of them. And you see it and you just think, I mean, where's the value proposition? Some of them, it's even, why is a token even needed for this concept? It's really just not needed. So, like, you can kind of see the other perspective on just how crazy it is out there in the ICO world at the moment. So I don't blame Germany for doing this, and it'll keep happening. More countries will keep doing it, especially when it gets to the point where a particular country might see their laws and regulations being favourable at the present to exploit in terms of ICOs. So pretty standard stuff. I don't think it's most ICOs are scams. They're pretty crazy. Yeah, they're pretty crazy, guys. So what I want to check out, both you talk about HShare. Yeah, good one, Rayon. I don't know enough about it. I mentioned HShare probably about 2 months ago, simply as it being a Chinese sort of backed coin, similar to Quantum and similar to Neo, and it was weird. There was a correlation between HShare, Quantum, and Neo, and they would, at one point in time, they were all sort of going up and down exactly the same, which to me said they were directly tied to the Chinese market and people's feelings about China. The platform itself, I really just don't know enough to comment, mate. Sorry. Tesla Lambo. Yeah. So pretty crazy today, guys. So Bitquence, I've mentioned Bitquence before. I got into Bitquence at ICO. Superman today gave us a glimpse into the alpha or the beta platform that's actually coming to Bitquence. Very pretty, very, very pretty platform. For those of you who don't know, I'll just take you to the website to give you a quick look at what Bitquence actually is and why it's probably getting some attention now. Now, a lot of people kind of say they like the universal wallet. When I first looked into Bitquence, the universal wallet for me was actually not the main value proposition. It was one-click diversification. Now, one-click diversification basically means that what they're going to try and do is set up a fiat gateway, which means that people can just can put money straight into it, just like an exchange, and they can say put $100 into a basket of coins that will separate that $100 based on the percentage they set across all those coins. And I thought that is awesome. Long term, very easy for people to do. Makes it simple for people coming new to cryptocurrencies. Exchanges are daunting. Exchanges are daunting and difficult and hard to navigate and confusing. So one of the crazy things I saw, they've updated their website today, is they've actually got here tax-friendly reports. So you're going to be able to export your account activity for tax reporting, which is crazy. I mean, that's really interesting. So like, I'm interested to know on where Bitquence are going in the future in terms of who they're actually trying to market this to. Because I could see this potentially being used by people in the finance sector, which is crazy. So anyway, really cool stuff, guys. So Superman gave us a nice sort of preview on Bitquence. You can see here the different tokens that can be bought. So if they have this fiat gateway with this basket, it'll just be a really, really, really nice platform. So that's pretty cool. Now on their Twitter as well, let me just try and get this chat box back open. We can see. So you can do this for 100. Oh, not necessarily. No, not necessarily. They're going to have different baskets. So they'll have baskets, like one will be called like big cap coins, which will be like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash. That'll be one basket. Then they might have privacy coins, and they might have like a basket just for ICOs. So instead of you having to do the legwork, you'll be able to easily diversify your fiat into one of those baskets. So I actually think if you look at different traditional investment funds and the way investment fund works, and in index funds, that they basically invest in a bunch of tiny little companies that track the S&P. So that's huge in the traditional finance world, but it's not something that we're seeing at the moment in cryptocurrencies. Thoughts on Power? Look, Power's got a big following. It's got an extremely strong community. I really respect that. They've done a really good job of getting the word of Power out there. Dr. Gemma Green, the CEO, she obviously knows what she's doing. You know, she's making strides both in her own personal career, but in the career of Power itself, or the company of Power itself. Personally, I didn't invest. That's because my own thoughts, I couldn't, to me it wasn't an investment for me at this time. So that's my thoughts. But see, I'm in the power industry, and so I know a lot about it, and reading through the white paper and stuff, I don't know, it wasn't for me. But again, it's strong. It's got a super strong community. Gemma's kicking goals. So yeah, I mean, it's certainly not bad. Yeah, she's killing it. Like I said, she's killing it. She's doing a good job. She's getting the word out there. Need to change the energy industry. Well, sort of, man. The energy industry is like it is for a reason. I spoke about this in the last live stream. Australia's got a unique footprint in terms of the way the energy network is structured around our geography. It's because we have a very small population spread over large distances. So the infrastructure has been built based on that, and we can't get away from that. You lost big time. Oh, not necessarily, mate. Just there's so many. It's each to their own, man. It's each to their own. That's the thing about cryptocurrencies. You've just got to do your own research and be accountable to yourself. That's, at the end of the day, that's what you got to do. So anyway, back to Bitcoin. So they've basically been saying that they're going to release some news soon. So I'm hoping it's going to be something pretty good. They've basically added some new team members, which is really good as well. So they got this guy here, Tim Simmons, which has got experience in marketing. They've added Kevin. They've added Bobby Beck. Now this is an interesting guy. I actually stumbled across this guy on LinkedIn. He actually worked for I think he was a consultant to the IRS. Now, why I find interesting is he's going to have connections into government. So depending on where Bitcoins want to take their platform and whether they're going to leverage some of the connections and experience that he has, Oh, I don't know, but I just find it interesting nonetheless. So pretty cool stuff on Bitquence. Hopefully some big news comes out soon. I've been very keen, very much waiting for that to come out. So overall, they're really making strides, and I can't wait for that beta platform to come out. So next, guys, I just want to have a look at the new website by No Limit Coin. So Crypto Daily, he covered this as well. Absolutely beautiful website design. You can see here they've got a new logo, some new graphics as well, which is really, really nice. Let's read some comments. Thoughts on Icon? I don't know enough about Icon, man. I need to do some more research. I may have been following you a few weeks now, but never managed to get in touch with you. So I'm just letting you know. Thanks for all these videos. Hope we meet one day. Thanks, Adrian. Appreciate it, man. Really appreciate the nice comment. Will real estate work under the blockchain? Zephyr, that's a very good question. There's many layers to that question. To me, the value of real estate on a blockchain will all depend on the contracts. It will all depend on the contracts and how they can manage to put the mountains of paperwork that are currently involved in purchasing property into smart contracts on a blockchain, make the token associated with that valuable. That's going to be the challenge, but a very interesting question. LJ Hooker are going to be 10 years behind the 8 ball, man. OMG, good for long term. Yeah, oh, I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't take my advice, but I hold OMG, and I think it's just getting started. Like most of the cryptocurrencies out there at the moment. Your feelings about Salt, fine, sir. Well, thank you, Squire. Look, Salt seems like a pretty decent platform from a high level. I haven't drilled down into it in detail. However, the fact that some of the team members on Salt have been in cryptocurrencies for a long time. I think one of them actually either had something to do with Coinbase or had something to do with another exchange. That's a really rare commodity. People that have been in cryptocurrencies for many years are very rare. So when I see big names on teams, especially names that are associated with success, performance and achievements, I always see that as a real positive. So I think Salt has that. Which city am I in? I don't live in a city. I live in a small coastal town right in between Brisbane and Sydney. Have you looked at the U-Trust? Not overly in detail. What about Australia retail adoption for Bitcoin? Yeah, I think what the government needs to do is approve or legislate Bitcoin to be used as legal tender for that happens, which is what Japan did. Some gold. Oh, wouldn't that be off? That's the risk. Hey, that's the risk. We're so new at the moment. I think it's really risky putting, well, at least only having one copy of a sensitive contractual document on a blockchain. You would at least want duplicates probably for the time being until all the creases are ironed out in a few years' time, because we're easy a few years away from blockchain and cryptocurrencies being refined and mass adopted for sure. We are so early, guys. South side here. What are some good altcoins for short-term trading? I don't short-term trade, man, so I can't help you. Sorry. Just think about it. It has its own token. Is there something a BTC kind of... If it has... Just think about it. If it has its own token, it's something BTC. Yeah, the difference, Berserk, will be is you got to split them into asset classes, right? So Bitcoin, Dash, Litecoin, they're currencies. Ethereum, Neo, smart contracts. The tokens that are associated with them are like the value proposition in the system itself, but the platforms still have their own unique use cases. All altcoins are short-term for long-term beta. Yeah, Richard Hart would agree with that. How would one-click diversification of Bitcoins work with end-of-year tax payments? Will it complicate things? Is it just a pumped-up coin ATM due to Superman? No working product. Yeah, but she like, good point, but 99% of cryptocurrencies don't have a working product yet. Bitcoin's actually does. It's just in alpha. So the beta's coming soon. Certainly, it's not just a pump by Superman. Regarding end-of-year tax payments and that being complicated, in fact, I think quite the opposite. If you were solely using that platform, you think at the moment different funds like an index fund, where the index fund invests into a bunch of small companies that track the S&P, it's directly analogous to how Bitquence would operate, but it'll just be cryptocurrencies instead of traditional stocks. I'm in Sydney, down for a meetup. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Me too, Ridley. I've got to get it going. I've got a lot going on at home at the moment, but for sure, that's in my plan. Probably early next year, I'm definitely going to do a meetup. Maybe in Newcastle, because I'm not too far away from Newcastle. So, have you contacted with your accountant about cryptocurrency? I don't. Yeah, I have, Rion, and my financial advisor, and it's been some interesting conversations. They think cryptocurrencies are crazy, volatile, and you're pretty much nuts for getting involved, and I don't blame them. They're all about reducing risk, making long-term gains for their clients. So that's what it's all about. And again, this is an indicator of how early we are. So it's a good way to use these different bits of information that come to get a gauge on where we are in terms of market adoption, which can help you make good investment decisions too. Oh, thanks, Knocker. Appreciate it, bros. That's 4 schooners. Bitquence would be great for a self-managed super. Jamie, very, very good point. Can do a Newcastle meetup. 20, awesome. Nice to go. Yeah, cheers, guys. So, yeah, so scrolling through the No Limit website, really nice design, very clean, awesome. Really, really stoked with it. So you can see here that the products they got launched at the moment, they've got football and soccer, but they've got a lot to go. It's a really big, it's going to be, like, No Limit Coin is going to be hard to penetrate the entire United States because the type of betting platform that it is on No Limit is actually banned in a lot of states. They can't actually do it. I think it's about 50-50 across the US. So if they can try and swindle their way through the regulations, get approved in more states, get this thing international, get it out there in the world, it's just a phenomenally huge market. And I think, I just think that anyone that's that into sports, if they can actually monetize it in the way where they can have this fantasy sports and actually earn revenue as well, I think is really attractive. And this is what I love about cryptocurrencies, is it's monetizing so many kind of day-to-day things that we did before that couldn't be monetized in that way. And that's again why I love D-Market. See, D-Market is potentially monetizing games, which is like, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's awesome. 17 more Bitquence. It's our kids' generation that are used to virtual in-game currencies that will be the first generation to understand this technology. So we are very early. True, Decibel, but you know what the interesting thing is? The demographics of my YouTube channel, and I've heard Crypto Daily say the same thing, so he is right. The demographics of the majority of people into cryptocurrencies at the moment are between 25 and 50. Weird, isn't it? But you're right. I think the younger generation will flow into cryptocurrencies and it won't even be a learning process. They won't need to know about the blockchain. People in the future won't want to know about blockchain. They won't need to know about the technology. They won't care. It'll just be cryptocurrencies and that's what they'll use to buy things. That's my prediction. Xbox coin. There's going to be a cryptocurrency for everything in the future. That's what I reckon. I like the idea of seeing blockchain used in social media and search engines. Yeah. It all depends. Like, a blockchain is a decentralized database, in essence, that the information can be publicly verifiable. So whatever before used a centralized database that was prone to security risks, that can then be transferred to a decentralized model that can allow a verification by nodes and then monetized on top of that. Anything that can fill that gap, that go from that centralized database to a decentralized blockchain, there's value. That's why you're seeing so many thousands of companies that are trying to do that, but a lot of them are just awful. Alternative exchange is taking AUD with lower fees than CoinSpot. I think CoinJar or Independent Reserve, but I think you'll find if you can compare the fees, they end up actually being pretty similar because CoinSpot has Poly, and Poly is 0 fees to get your money onto there. LBRY was also an organized pump. Oh, I don't know about that. Blockchain is awesome. I have an app to build and soon I'll be able to learn how HMU coding blockchains are your thing. Hey, Bo, joined the channel recently. Just want to say thanks. You're awesome. Thanks, Nacho, man. Appreciate it. LBRY got a lot of attention. What are your thoughts? I love LBRY, man. LBRY's the future. LBRY have a working product. I mean, it's a decentralized a blockchain-based, monetized media hosting platform. It takes books, it takes shows, it takes courses. You'll be able to upload intellectual property onto there. Like, let's say you, just for example, let's say you write a report for something, I don't know, you know, whatever, something that'll help someone, that there's value. You can upload it to LBRY and choose how much people pay you for that. You're in complete control. LBRY is the hosting platform. And LBRY's been around for a couple of years, which is another rare thing for a cryptocurrency. Copenhagen will be fee-free. How do I get on a pump group? Oh, mate, I'm not involved in any pump groups at all. I don't like them. I don't like how they operate, and I don't like the morals behind them. Thanks for LBRY. No worries, Ridley. So yeah, guys, crazy. So if you guys haven't followed me on the tweets, come and follow me on the tweets. 526 followers now. That is crazy. Oh, I'm like blown away. Really blown away that I've even gotten to that many followers on Twitter. It's crazy. I'd put off joining Twitter for so long, pretty much my entire life. I just wanted nothing to do with it. And then when I started YouTube, I got onto it and I was like, oh, you know, it is a good platform to interact with people. It is a good platform to post the videos onto. But the crazy thing is about Twitter is you get a lot of really succinct and up-to-date information on cryptocurrencies and different cryptocurrencies that you follow, which are absolutely awesome. So Bitcoin Trader, you guys should go and follow this guy as well. He's been such a big support for me. He posts a lot of really good content, and he's just a good all-around guy. So definitely go and follow him as well, guys. There's some fantastic resources on Twitter. So yeah, if you want to stay up to date with different cryptos and get in touch with people, it's the best. So many things kids use these days. Has money exchanged for unique tokens? Yeah, Jamie, you're exactly right, mate. You're exactly right. They can't exchange back to money. Yes, yeah, that's true. That's exactly true. LBRY needs time, man. It's just like all the other platforms. It just needs time. Love you, Modest, to keep it up. Thanks, man. Oh, dude, I will not have a Lambo by YouTube. My latest video just got demonetized again. Every video I do within 24 hours gets demonetized, and I can't understand why. I don't know what I'm doing. It just gets demonetized, and like I've said before, I don't actually care about the monetary incentive, because YouTube pays so little. It's literally about 10 bucks, maybe 15 bucks a video. It's nothing. It's so little. I could care less. But I think what happens with demonetization is it actually, from what I've heard, is it deranks you from that video being suggested. So they automatically assume that there's some kind of controversial material within the video itself. I don't know what I've done that's that controversial. I mean, I don't even swear. I don't swear in any of my videos. I try and stay really professional in everything I do. It's just how I like to be. And every video now just gets demonetized. So I don't get it. No worries, Margaret. It's awesome talking to you guys. Possibly, Tristan. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know what the driving forces are behind it, or whether it's an algorithm doing it. I just don't know. Yeah, DTube. Yeah, I know. The problem is DTube doesn't have the same audience. YouTube's got the big audience. You've got to separately upload things to DTube and then do all your thumbnail, your description and everything again, and it's just time. It takes so much time. Not yet, Margaret. No, she was due yesterday, actually. I'm on standby. I got the phone ready to go. Thanks for asking. Jeremy, I'm not trying to be, man. I'm just a dude recording videos and talking to people, mate. But I'm humbled by that. I'm learning every day, and I admit that. I'll never come on here and say that I'm an expert at this. I think personally, there's very few people are experts. That's why I really hold people that have been around in this for a few years in such high regard. Because I mean, who else have we got? I mean, Bitcoin's only what, 8 or 9 years old. It's so new itself, and Bitcoin's the oldest one. So it's just an ongoing process. It's evolving. Everything's evolving. YouTube and cryptocurrencies evolving, the way it's reported on. The community's evolving as well. So we're evolving and learning together at the end of the day, and that's the coolest part. Thanks, Bob. You and Lark are the best. Oh, thanks, Matthew. Appreciate it. Lark's a gent, guys. He's an absolute gent. Got all the time in the world for Lark. We're going to do... me and the Lark are going to do a meetup next year. I'm going to go to Auckland, meet him, and we're going to invite all you guys. My thoughts on Neo. Neo's the boss, man. Neo is the boss. Neo's just in a holding pattern at the moment. Neo's in a holding pattern. It's above the airport. It's above LAX. It's in a holding pattern, guys. Neo's going to be huge. So the thing about Neo, what you need to realize, it's like Ethereum was 18 months ago. What do I mean by that? Well, Ethereum has had how many hundreds, if not thousands, of fundraising platforms built off it now. Neo's going to do the same thing, but Neo's had the chance to take the lessons learned from Ethereum, and it's also got multiple programming languages as well. So it's tapping into the millions of experienced developers out there in the world right now that are experienced in Python, in Go, in Java, that can use those languages to write the DApps, the decentralized applications on Neo. So Neo's got huge potential, absolutely massive, massive, massive potential. And that's not even going into the linkages with on-chain, the linkages with the Nest Fund. You've got the Neo token itself pays dividends. I mean, it's like an all-in-one crypto. That's my opinion. It's just an absolute boss. You never stop learning. That's it, online gaming, 100%. I'm a sponge. I love to learn. I constantly read books. That's what life is all about, hey, is just learning and improving as you go. And if you make a mistake, admit it. If you're just honest, people always understand honesty. Have I sold my Bitcoin for alts or crypto? No, I haven't sold any Bitcoin. I don't sell. All I do is accumulate. So I have a percentage of my portfolio is in Bitcoin and a percentage of my portfolio is in altcoins. Now that's based on several factors. One, it's split across asset classes, and two, it diversifies my risk. So in my opinion, Bitcoin is the lowest risk, right? So I want to lower my overall risk by diversifying, and I also want to diversify into different asset classes. Asset classes being smart contracts, currencies, and other things. One love, keen to evolve with us. Cheers, man. Thoughts on B3? I don't know enough about it. Don't know enough about it. Is Neo still available on one exchange? Sold my BTC for Neo. Yeah, okay. I can't part with the Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin's close to my heart. It's just, I've got a little Bitcoin right in the middle there. What do you think of Dash? Dash is awesome, man. Dash is awesome. Very well established. You've got a privacy coin. It's a currency. It's got a lot of exposure as well. It's got big names behind it. You've got box mining behind it. You've got Max Kaiser behind it. Those kind of influences can't be understated in terms of the way the market reacts. Pam Observe suggesting that banks are closing down bank accounts when they find transactions mentioning Bitcoin. That's interesting you say that, Shiva, because someone commented on one of my videos a little while ago saying they had a friend whose account was shut down transacting money to CoinSpot. So that's very, very interesting. Sold 2 houses and bought Neo for $5. You got Neo for $5? Or you got them in Ant shares? Oh, man. Craig, that's some belief right there, dude. That's some belief. But wow, you have done well. The risk is paid off. You have done very well. Just ordered the Internet of Money and grabbed the audiobook. Adrian, 100%. And the other book, this book is actually, in my opinion, better than the one by Andreas Antonopoulos. It's called The Business Blockchain by M. Muyagar and Vitalik Buterin. Fantastic. Technical, business related, has a lot of analogies to the dot-com boom. That's what we want, right? We want to use as many examples as we can for cryptocurrencies to pre-establish data that'll give us the peace of mind and give us some kind of indication on us being able to forecast where cryptocurrencies are going in the future. So The Business Blockchain, absolutely phenomenal book, highly recommend. Don't know enough about Verge to comment, sorry, Sham. Did you see action on CFD? No. Thoughts on Electronium? Electronium is just so hyped. So hyped, guys. Anytime I see that kind of hype, I just steer clear. I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. That, like, the way I see investing is you want to get stuff under the radar, right? You want to get stuff with real potential under the radar, not something that everyone else is doing. And there's multiple facets to that that rationale, but as soon as I see overhype, I just walk away. I'd rather not be like, let's just say I miss out on losing money on a particular crypto investment that's overhyped. That's fine, but it's better than losing money, right? So I might not have made any money, but it's better than losing money. Luciano. Counter investing. Buying the dump. How about XLM Stellar Lumens? You know, it's funny. I bought Stellar when I first got into cryptocurrencies ages ago. I did it with no research. It was dumb. It was just really cheap, and I bought it. Only a small amount. I don't know. I really, yeah, it's not something I know a lot about. Electronium and Mycelium mobile mining isn't actually possible yet. Yeah, that was just a hype train. Total hype train. Go to the next coin. I used some BTC and Litecoin to pay for my credit card last week. Yeah, nice. Jamie, did you do that through, can I ask, did you do it through House of Satoshi? Because on House of Satoshi, you can actually do it through BPay. What cryptos are undervalued in today, in your opinion? Oh, let's have a quick look at the market before we finish up, guys. That's a hard question because it's a very subjective question, and everyone has their own way of assessing potential investments. You got to look at things that are going to produce value in the future. You got to look at things where the coin itself is inherently tied into the system, and with more adoption, more use, the value will be driven up organically. That's what I look at. You know, some good, I back all the picks that I've already covered in previous videos, but ones that I always really look at are like 10x. 10x is going to have a dividend system when it's finished, and a proportion of the transactions that are used globally will actually go to token holders, right? So anything that's got that kind of dividend system, as well as that value proposition where the value of the token is going to go up with adoption of that platform, I think you're onto a real winner. How do I feel about Litecoin? Douglas. Well, I'd be more politically correct than that and say there's a lot of new investors and a lot of naive investors as well. And yeah, it's hard to navigate. Cryptocurrencies are so new, so crazy, and people can get easily swept up in hype. And it takes discernment and experience to separate the hype. Litecoin's cool, man. Litecoin's cool. You know, it's a good currency. It's well-established technology. It's a fork of the Bitcoin blockchain. It's got SegWit upgraded on it. It's got Charlie Lee behind it. It's a good, strong cryptocurrency. It's not going anywhere. Does it give the same returns historically as Bitcoin? No. That doesn't mean it's a bad coin. It depends on what you want to use it for. Anyone tried the AusPost Visa card? Is it possible to load from living room Satoshi without registering? Yes, it is Decibel, but I think only for a short time, because I think the government is trying to clamp down on that. So if you intend on using it, I would probably use it soon. The other ones, do your own research. Yeah, 100%, Alexander. And that's the thing. You know, being someone that covers cryptocurrencies and a lot of other YouTubers as well, at the end of the day, you really do, the more personal responsibility you take, the better off you'll do in the long run. Yeah, no worries, Decibel. All good, man. All good. So yeah, guys, sorry I didn't have more material prepared. I got through it quicker than I actually expected. But I just like talking to you guys. That's, to be honest, that's the truth. That's my favorite part of this. What's next? Alt trend, decentralized exchanges or sports betting or privacy. That's, yeah, can't predict the market, Matthew, otherwise we'd all be really rich. Have you done any mining? No, I haven't really, but I was originally intending on mining LBRY. I was going to set up a mining rig. Haven't got around to it because there's a lot of work in it. That's just the honest truth. But I would like to one day, provided it's profitable. See, in Australia, we've got high power prices, but what I actually want to do is build my own solar battery backup rig and set up a small mining rig with that. And actually, I'm going to do some calculations on it and stuff first to make sure it's profitable. But that's what I would like to do long term, is set up my own solar powered Bitcoin mining rig or Ethereum. That's the end goal anyway. All these videos basically a live room chat. Yeah. Not much work in mining. I have solar though. Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, that's what I thought, Ridley. I just have to do the calcs and make sure that the solar will actually produce enough energy to... See, what I'm doubting is, like, solar's not bad, but I think you'd have to have quite a big array to produce enough power for the mining rigs, and I think you need to have quite a few mining rigs in Bitcoin specifically at the moment to compete for that that block lottery. So it'll probably have to be another cryptocurrency for it to be profitable. Can you recommend any other YouTube crypto channels? Yeah, absolutely, man. So LBRY, real gentleman, really genuine guy. Crypto Daily's awesome, really entertaining. That's what I like about him. He mixes it up. He's got a lot of creativity with his videos. Love Superman. I know people have mixed feelings about Superman, but Superman is who inspired me to actually start this channel. His energy and his confidence. I was watching him months and months and months ago, so I really like Superman as well. Data Dash is another one. He gets very technical. Box Mining's just a good all-round channel. He sort of covers everything. There's heaps. Ivan on Tech, he's another really good guy. He's a programmer, so he gives a really good technical spin on explaining some of the concepts behind blockchain. Yeah, good one, Jay. Yeah, he's a good dude, man. Crypto Lark didn't understand China. Well, yeah, well, not many people do. And that's the thing about box mining. Box mining, he has... I think he lives in Hong Kong, so he's really uniquely positioned to give that insight on China. And China, it is hard to get information out of China for sure. Realistically, what do you think Bitcoin can reach in 12 months? That's a good question, Fresh. If you go and look at the video I did, I think about a week and a half ago, I did a video on Bitcoin and how the data indicates Bitcoin's following an upwards trajectory. I believe there's many factors are going to contribute to Bitcoin's growth. I won't put a price on it, but I'm confident in its long-term growth. If you can derive some bits of information from that statement. Go solar mining and use Power Blockchain to tap into your neighbor's access for affordability. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how they go about the actual implementation. Very interested to know how they go about the actual implementation, because you cannot track power flow. So when power is pushed out onto a network, right, at the point of supply, you can track it. But it becomes very difficult once it's dispersed and there's different sources out there. So how the hardware is going to work with the software and the blockchain is where I think the real challenge is going to be. But, you know, sometimes crazy ideas spur innovation too. So at least 25K in 2022, my 2 cents. I don't think that's an unrealistic figure. I don't think that's unrealistic based on the data. We are one big bad news away to go parabolic with the crypto world. Yeah, it's crazy. That's the thing. Cryptocurrency is absolutely crazy. You can't predict the market. All you can do is look at the data and what we have, form your own opinion, build your own kind of thought process and methodology about how you go about analyzing it. So mine is different to yours, is different to the other person's. Everyone, we all have our own way of looking at it. Why am I confident in the long-term growth of Bitcoin? Is it because of the brand and the adoption, or the technology? It's a mixture. It's a mixture of everything. I mean, I could sit here and say, oh, it's the first, but that's an easy out. There's many things. It's the most well-known, okay? It's the most reported on. It's the most loved. The technology is not up to scratch with other cryptocurrencies. That's true, but that doesn't mean anything. People aren't just going to flip. The consciousness of how people view something doesn't just flip because the technology is better. So because of that, I think Bitcoin will always be number one. This is based on the fact seeing spike from year to year after halving. I have an Irish friend who lives in Thailand. He is saying cryptos is banned there. So how can OMG work with McDonald's in Thailand? I don't know enough about that to respond, Margaret. Sorry, it's the vibe. It's the vibe. look, I could sit here and spew stuff and talk rubbish, but at the end of the day, there's just too many factors that are pointing to it. How long until we hit 1 trillion total market cap? That will be massive. Yeah, man, absolutely. Absolutely. Probably only a couple of years. Just me, what does crypto look like? Yeah, kind of. He also looks a little bit like Ron Jeremy with that mustache. Oh, funny. Alright guys, I'm going to go. Thanks so much for tuning in. 86, we hit a record. That's a record for the amount of people watching a live stream. I'm sorry I didn't have more content, but I really do just like talking to you guys. So I appreciate you hanging around and actually talking with me. We're growing the community together. This is the awesome thing. We're growing it together. The community's building, and we're having fun doing it. So thanks again, guys. Really appreciate you tuning in. As I said, I'll just type, see ya, everyone. Have a great rest of the weekend. All the best. See you next time, guys. Bye.